Oh, now we made it. Thank God. All right, we are here. Zero to Hero Live, part two. If you saw the intro and everything in the former video, we apologize. Technical difficulties on my part. But this is the show to help you keep chasing that hero of yours. And I am with the one and only Liz Truong, one of my favorites. I swear to God, she is a phenomenal individual from San Jose, California. I went to visit her on my Jeep Across America tour. And ever since then, we've become even better friends. And her book is coming out here soon. She's got wild stories in it, some of them PG, some of them not. And she has great lessons. Anybody who's out there to become an entrepreneur, or even you're out there and you're struggling, you're thinking about that next step in your life, she can help out. So Liz, thank you so much for doing this, even though I suck at computers.
More at computers.
You're okay. So introduce yourself to everyone. Tell them a little bit about what you've done, what you do, and what, man, we can't lead on to what you are going to be doing, but tell us a little bit about you.
My name's Liz Truong, and what I've been doing is I've been a restaurateur. I started my business at a very young age. My first restaurant was when I was 22, and I did all this as a teenage mom as well. So I look forward to working with Mike. You are absolutely the best. Thank you so much for helping me make my story more interesting than it really is. But this book is hopefully to inspire anyone that wants to be a restaurateur, anyone that wants to be an entrepreneur. But more importantly, it's a book that is here to empower women. And I'm so excited for this book.
Love it. You just brought up something that's huge. And I don't think anybody can even realize how tough it was to be a teenage mom and then becoming a part of a business. What in the hell was that like?
It was horrific. I was just thinking about this. Like, I don't think I ever, you don't grow up and say, hey, I can't wait to have a kid at 15, right? But it happened. It's not something I want to promote as well. Like I don't tell every kid to go out there and have a kid. But it happened. Brandon is a blessing to me. It was extremely difficult because I was a kid raising a kid. But probably the best thing about it is that because I loved him and because I was so poor, because I didn't have anything, I didn't have any means for this kid, I wanted to make something out of myself. And I think that's the important message here. The message here isn't to go out there and have a kid as a teenage mom. The message here is that you make a mistake, right? A mistake that life gives you. So how do you fix it? And I think that on the path of fixing something, I discovered how to just not give up.
And when you say teenage, how old were you whenever you had your son?
15.
15 years old. Think about where you guys were at 15 years old. I was thinking about playing Mortal Kombat, I think, and that was like the biggest thing on my mind, like playing video games or riding bicycles. You're having kids, and then you're also taking the leap into entrepreneurship, right? The struggle of becoming an entrepreneur is something that's overwhelming, but having a kid, being responsible for other people, I can't even imagine.
Well, the thing is that at 15, you don't even have a worker's permit yet.
Oh my God.
You're only legal to work like a couple hours. And so I guess this is where everything started for me, was that I was pregnant. I had to go to work, right? At that time, 20-something years ago, going to school and being pregnant was frowned upon, right? So my first job was actually at a restaurant, and my first job was to peel carrots because they didn't want a teenage mom in front of the house. So I was stuck in the back of the house. So I think that was kind of the gateway of me actually entering the restaurant industry without me even knowing that was what was going to happen.
Wow. That's a lesson in your book, though. The peeling carrots chapter is what you want to bring to life, is what you want to bring to life about how even if you go to the highest levels of success, and you can talk about, I guess, extreme levels of success with Lee's sandwiches, which if you go to San Jose or if you're on the West Coast, everyone knows Lee's sandwiches. Am I right?
Elite Sandwiches is it's a worldwide brand. There's 64 branches that's open right now, and we're actually in Asia, Taiwan, Southern California. So extremely proud of the brand.
Mm-hmm. And so, go ahead.
No. What were you saying?
Yeah. So, and so, you know what it takes to build a company. You've seen it. You've been a part of it, but you never lost that lesson. Going back to peeling carrots, no matter who gets hired, you always go back to the back office, to the back room, and help out whoever's there, right?
Absolutely. Peeling carrots is a chapter that's on my book, and you know, I'm pretty sure people that are listening right now will probably somehow understand what I'm trying to say. How many times has anyone worked at a job, their first job, and they're like, man, this shit sucks. Why am I doing this?
I've been there many times. Yes.
Everyone can agree with this, right? Whether it's you're busting tables, you're working retail during the holidays. Once upon a time, before anyone became successful, there was something that they did not want to do. And for me, it was absolutely peeling carrots, because I was in the back room. When you're pregnant, you have Spider-Man senses, and I smelled everything. And I was over a trash can doing this, right?
Yeah, your senses are out of control. Hormones are going wild, and all of this is causing problems. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're 15 and you're over here peeling carrots. And I never understood why. I never understood why of all the jobs I got that job, right? Then at 22, I started my first Lee sandwiches, and I saw people peel carrots, and they peeled it the completely wrong way. Believe it or not, there's actually a fast way of peeling carrots, right? A fast one. And then I realized how essential carrots.
Nope, I can hear you.
Mike,
You jumped out there for a second. I'm here.
Okay. So daikon and carrots in a Vietnamese banh mi is the same as salsa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or pico de gallo too. Never in the years did I think it was going to be that important. And I watched it's those people. It's the people that you think replaceable that actually business. Industry that in fast over. And I can proudly say that 70% of my team right now has been with me since I was 22.
Amazing.
And they've done that with me because they know that I would peel carrots for them. They know that if our floors are if our grease is coming up and they're stepping in swampy water, I'm there with them. So I mean, it means a lot to me to share that story, because you're nothing without them, and without your team, and your team needs to see that.
I love that. I love it. So it's basically you just whatever is necessary, you got to get the job done. But being there to show your support for your team whenever you really don't even need to be there. You really don't, but you know the power of the boss coming back and being there with you.
You have to, and I think a lot of people realize that, right? I mean, like you look at the recent shows. What is it? Undercover Boss.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Is it Undercover Boss. So I've been watching that show recently, and that's been airing the past couple of years, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, wow, like how come so many people are drawn to this? And I think what happens is that so many bosses forget what those people do. And then once they take those boss shoes off and they go back and they put the worker shoe on, is when they go back and they touch these humans, right? And they start paying for their cars. They start paying for their college fees. They start realizing that it was these people that made them who they were, and they're thankful. And so for me, when I watch that show, I'm like, holy cow, like, thank God. That's what I've been doing all this time. That's something that keeps me humbled, I think, every single day for the last 15 years.
What do you think makes Lee's sandwiches successful? What's the main ingredient? What's the piece of it all that makes it so successful? Restaurants come and go more than any other type of industry. So what works for that company?
Evolution. I mean, evolve, right? Um, when you think about food, right? You or any business in general, I think it's about evolving with your product has to evolve with what is needed. You have to give a product that consumers want,
Hmm.
right? So if you think about Lee's, I mean, we're fast food, true, right?
Yeah.
But the best thing about Lee's is that everything that's there is also made fresh, which is what today's society wants,
Yep.
right? You want fast food, you want quality, you want something that's grilled fresh on a grill. You want fresh vegetables, right?
Hmm.
That's what we do, and that's what we've been doing since day one. And if anything, I think our quality control has gotten better. I think our products have gotten better. And then most people know, when you go to an Asian restaurant, customer service isn't the thing. But right, but but right, because we've decided to evolve, right? That customer service is the
I
thing,
didn't
right?
say it. She said it, guys. She said it.
I, you guys all know what I'm talking about.
Seinfeld did an episode on that. Do you remember that? Are you a Seinfeld girl?
No, but I already know. You
Uh,
know how kind of Asians, you know?
that's fantastic. But that's what they focus on, right? Speed, quality, the evolution of having fresh food there. I mean, this is something that it just took off, right? I mean, it skyrocketed fast.
I think I mean, number one, it's a blessing, right? There's so many people out there that have amazing products, but for us, I think it's just the fact that um, in my store for the first 10 years, Mrs. Lee, who started this branch in 1983, she was actually still marinating these meats in the restaurant, in my restaurant. So I think that the coolest thing was that there was still this authenticity, like this authentic lady still making fresh Vietnamese food, right? Banh mi, because that's what that's what one of our staples, right?
Hmm.
And and then she had this Americanized thought that we want to make things more streamlined. We wanted customer service added to this. We want speed, and so I think that we took the old and the new, and then we put it together and came out with Lee sandwiches of what it is today.
Amazing, amazing. There's a mentor in your life, Huey, and he taught you a couple things. I mean, you're big into the martial arts now because of him. Uh, Tell me a little bit about how important it is to have a mentor. There's women out there watching this, whether it's on YouTube. I don't even know if you know this. You're on Facebook, 4 different pages, YouTube. You're on YouTube Live right now. We're gonna try to get it on the NBC show tomorrow.
Tell me.
Guys, and just to give you a little side note, everybody, I kind of like suckered her into this live here because I was like, man, I'd love to get her on here talking about her book. It's been a while since I, talked with her on face-to-face interaction here, and I want to just get her on camera and make her feel uncomfortable. So I made it very, very, oh yeah, just do a Facebook Live, and she was like, what?
Like,
and,
you're to see my.
what, yeah. What do you mean? What do you mean camera? I don't know. I thought this was gonna be a phone call. No. So
Huey, I love Huey. So it's gonna be in the book. My dad left when I was 6 years old. I was raised by a single mom, and I think the best thing that's ever happened to me was that I walked into martial arts and school, and I wanted to sign myself up just for two reasons. Number one, he was Vietnamese, and my mom could speak Vietnamese, and number two, he was in walking distance, and my mom didn't have to drive. I never thought in a million years that Huey would be probably one of the best things. He is my father. If anyone's going to be my father today, it's going to be him.
wow.
I think it's extremely important to have a mentor, to have a life coach, in your life, because um, everyone is bound to be lost somehow, sometime. And I think that having, whether it's a fitness coach, right? Whether it's a life coach that helps you with your business, whether it's a coach that helps you with just resolving your own, like, your counseling, I think it's so important because as you're uncertain about a certain path or you're kind of maneuvering off, you kind of think about the things that was the lessons that was already taught to you, and it brings you back. And I think that everyone likes safe, everyone likes security. That's who humans are. That's what we kind of thrive for, right? Mm-hmm. And I think being a coach of some sort is kind of what keeps you in that zone.
Gotcha. Yeah, and he was so crucial to just keep. I mean, and he was tying things in like with martial arts, with life, and just being some moment of clarity that you needed at such a tough, dark day. Like it was very, very difficult for you to know where you were going, let alone who you were, and he helped you with all that.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think he's a real life Mr. Miyagi. I think if I can leave you, there's so many things that he's taught me, and I think one of the things that he's taught me that kind of stuck with me was, no matter what you leave your kids back with, right? You can leave them back with millions of dollars, and that would go to waste, right? The one thing you can leave your kids back with is character, and that's the character to say what you mean, the character to finish what you start, right? The character to put the noise aside and believe in you and your capabilities. And trust me, at 10, you're like, believe in me. Like, I'm just, how do you do a round kick again? But I think that because it was 18 years of me sitting there listening to this, of the same stuff, right? Respect yourself, love yourself, right? There's so many times being that I just got divorced, right? Being that I was raising a teenage kid that got himself into so much trouble. And then I have a 12-year-old daughter. There's so many times you lose yourself. And it's normal too. And I want to emphasize that. It's normal to lose yourself. It's normal to not know if what you're currently doing is good or not. That's okay. But if you believe in you and you stick to something, there's nothing like consistency and discipline. There's no one that is smarter than the other person. There's no one that's way better or luckier. The only difference is consistency and discipline, I think, personally. And that was taught to me at a very young age.
What you went through recently, and not only did you have a child at a young age, you start a business. What that throws at you is just immense. But then you go and you find out some stuff with your significant other, your husband at the time. Then you go through a divorce, and now you're building another part. You're building towards another level of your career. Did you feel like all of that in the past prepared you for something greater? Like it didn't just hit you right away. You've had already difficult times, and that made you stronger to kind of withstand this storm that just came your way.
I think personal life wise, right? Mine's pretty interesting. I mean, I met my ex-husband when I was 13, had my first kid with him at 15. I was with him for 23 years. That's kind of unheard of, right? To be with someone from 13 to, 37. And then to find out that my ex-husband is gay. And I think that I share that story loud and proud because I want, number one, for Asians to share anything, it's not the typical. And I share this because, I think life gives you things, and it's not about, it's not about like, oh man, like this has happened to me. So what am I going to do? Right. Of course, there's times you don't know what to do, but I think it's about accepting the situations that's given to you and say, hey, you know what? This happened to me, and I'm thankful for it. Because if I can somehow surpass these situations, and I can somehow resolve them, I can find ways out of them, and I can grow from them, then it's worthy of sharing because my story will only help somebody else.
Love it. Yeah. I know in the beginning, you were probably thinking to yourself, should I share this stuff? Should I keep it to myself? But it does no good keeping it to yourself. It's only going to help someone down the road. And I think it's important to put it out in the book. You have all these videos that we are working on. I cannot wait to see those when they come to life. And you being out there, being on stage, sharing it, it's going to help someone. And if you help one person, isn't it worth it? Like that would be the reward.
Just one person. I mean, like, if anyone was lost today, right now, as I hear a story and thinking like, man, like, it's the holiday season right now and business is kind of slow, this sucks, what do I do? If someone feels like, my relationship is shaky, like, is that all? I mean, what am I going to do without this person? Well, what do I do? What about my kids? Or how come everyone else's kid is so good? How come mine isn't? Well, what do I do? Well, the answer to that is that things resolve themselves as long as you believe it, right? And if I can help one person, or even just one person today that's watching, and just say, hey, I mean, if she could do it, I mean, look at her, like average chick, right? If she could do it, then I can. All of this is worth it. Mm-hmm. Everything I've been doing is worth it.
And you surround yourself with such good people, guys. If you caught the beginning, you heard that whenever I did my Jeep Across America tour, I traveled across the country in my Jeep and just got to see the United States. And on my map, there was a must see, and that was Liz Truong, who we're talking to today. And when I got there, I didn't know anybody there. I didn't know anything about San Jose. And the people that you are with on a daily basis are phenomenal individuals. I swear to God, they treated me like family, and they were just saying, "Oh, you're the person helping out Liz with her book. Okay, come here, whatever food, wherever you want to go, let's do whatever." And that was mind blowing from where I come from. It's just to see someone who just, I'm an outsider to these individuals, and they treated me like family. So how important is it to be around these people who obviously share your passion for life? And you have more passion for life than most people I've ever met. So how important is that, Liz?
You are who you surround yourself. I didn't believe that as a teenager, right? As a teenager, your mom says, you play with fire, you get burned. I'm like, I'm playing with fire. Yeah. But now, as I'm older, I realize that, like, number one, you need to build your support system. Your success is based on your foundation, right? Your success is based on your foundation. I repeated that because that's so important. People these days, I realize, they build outside in, which is image, what the world sees, right? Well, when you're done building your image and you're done building everything from the outside in, then how strong is your foundation really? Will it collapse? Absolutely, right? Mm-hmm. And so for me, I have friends that I choose to be around with that kind of know me inside out, that I'm completely 100% Liz, the Liz that they've met since I was nothing. And those are some of the people that you've met. And then I surround myself with also people that are far better than me, mm-hmm. people I aspire to be, right? And I look at them and I find the best things about them. I say, man, this is awesome about you. And how do I become that? Because there's always room to grow. So it's so important. I think your circle of your family, your friends, your entrepreneur circle, your fitness circle, I think, and you don't have to have one circle. You should have plenty of circles. But I think your circle is extremely important.
Yeah, it's it. And what was his name? Your video guy?
Tim.
Tim. Shout out to Tim. I don't know if he's on Facebook a lot. I haven't been in touch with him since then, but he's an incredible videographer. The videos that he's putting out for people, and including yourself, are incredible. So I'd love to tag him down below. If you're looking for a videographer, I mean, Tim does the highest level production video stuff that I've ever seen. So he works with big clients. Some I probably can't even mention because they're, big brands. But anybody looking for a videographer, reach out to Tim. I'll tag him down below. I'm sure he'll come out. Just give him a glass of wine and he'll do some work for you guys.
For wine. I
That's works for wine. That's all you got to do for Tim. And Tim's the easiest going guy. So, that was one of the first people you introduced me to. The dude is just as solid as they come. And San Jose was a highlight on my trip of Jeep Across America, all because of you, Liz. And I can't wait for people to see your book, to see what you have coming out, the videos that you have coming out, and your next project, which will be debuting here in 2020. So thank you so much. Is there anything that, what I want to mention to the audience out there is that if you start to follow Liz on Instagram and you just pay attention to her, number one, there's a birthday party she's going to every other day. So that's exciting. but her personality is undeniable. Like, it's so contagious how much fun she is. So anything you want to say, Liz, to anybody out there watching now or later, anything?
Number one is I never thought I was going to write a book, right? But you're the first person I contacted, and I didn't contact anyone else after. So I wanted to thank you for that, because you have made me feel comfortable about sharing my story more so than anyone else I know. And the second thing is that before this book launches, if anyone has any questions, with entrepreneur, if anyone has questions with parenting, I don't know, or the best sandwiches, Vietnamese sandwiches, I'd be more than happy to gain more friends. And thank you so much for thinking about me today and making me show up.
Oh man, it was a sales pitch and a half, but you got it. So
thank you.
All right, guys, follow Liz. She's amazing. And any questions, comment down below. If you're on YouTube, comment. And then if you have any questions of how to get in touch with her, just reach out to me. Just a great woman. But thanks so much, guys. For the next episode, we'll probably be talking to more people just like Liz who've done amazing things. Just never stop chasing that hero of yours, because eventually you could catch him. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.